Orgasms kill intimacy. Here's why. Study reveals that the average time it takes for a man to orgasm during intercourse is 5.4 minutes, while the average time it takes for a woman is 14 minutes. What? It takes about 3 times longer for a woman to climax than men? So unfair. It means that there's a very high chance that you'll come before she does. Not your fault, it's just biology. But you might still feel disappointed and frustrated, and resentment can build over the years. And she might even tend to blame you and insinuate that there's something wrong with you. Even a confident man can feel doubt and some responsibility for her frustration, even though it's not his fault. So how do we solve this? This is episode 5 out of 5 of the series, Why Women Initiate Divorce and How to Prevent It. And if you haven't watched episode 1 to 4, please click the card here to start the series from the beginning because each skill builds on the previous one. Secret intimacy skill number 5, Tantric lovemaking to truly satisfy her. Back in 2001, I was living in Paris, I was 30, and I felt really insecure about my power of attraction. I hadn't had a girlfriend for 3 years. You know, my parents are intellectuals, so they didn't teach me much about sexual power. Then a friend of mine mentioned Tantra. I had never heard of it. So I went to the bookstore, found some books, and I realized they were also offering in-person workshops. So I dove in, took a bunch of workshops, and I ended up in a deep relationship with the lead teacher for 12 years. She was 22 years older than me, and I learned so much. I mentored with her for 12 years, and I went through massive transformation. Then I moved to the US, studied with Charles Meir, Evelyn Rose, and many others. So here's what I learned. Mainstream sex is not the only way. Tantric techniques such as sacred spot massage and slow sex can turn the orgasm gap problem on its head. And the best part is that it doesn't require the man to take pills or become a yogi, because there isn't anything wrong with him anyways. It's a mindset shift. So here's the secret. Peak orgasm versus valley orgasm. The hidden path to deeper pleasure. We've all been taught that orgasm is the finish line, the dopamine hits. It's the goal where we build towards, right? But when orgasm becomes the goal of sex, something vital is lost: intimacy. So let's define 2 very different types of orgasms. First, peak orgasm is the mainstream way. A steep build-up with only one outcome, off the cliff, at 5.4 minutes on average. And while peak orgasms are fun, nothing wrong with it, they're limiting, especially for women. And maybe she hasn't had the words to ask for it either. In fact, many women, just like men, were influenced by porn culture. They may have learned to conform with masculine-style sexuality, fast, heart-pounding, and explosion-oriented. And in many cases, they may have believed that's what they should want. That being fast, loud, performative, or aggressively orgasmic is what's expected of them to please a man, to be seen as fun, sexy, to be wanted. And while that might create great surface level stimulation, it often leaves a quiet ache in the heart, a sense that something's missing, a confusion about why it doesn't feel more nourishing, more connecting, more fulfilling. Dopamine versus oxytocin. Because peak orgasm creates a dopamine hit. It's fun, but not lasting. It's like eating sugar. The satisfaction is short, it doesn't feed the soul. If you want to create soul-nourishing connection, you need waves of oxytocin. And that's where the valley orgasm comes in. So second, valley orgasm is slow building, wave-like. It focuses on the journey, the body and soul connection. When a woman enters the valley state, she's not trying to come, she's being open. And her orgasmic energy can move through her pelvis, belly, heart, throat, crown, her entire body and chakra system. In the valley, she may cry, moan, whisper, or go silent. She may feel emotional releases from years ago. She may feel completely blessed, then vulnerable, then euphoric again. The valley is where she gets to feel herself. And when you stop chasing her climax and you start holding her process, she begins to trust you in a way she may never have before. This is the difference between making her come and awakening her. She doesn't want to be gotten off, she wants to be gotten deeply. Tantric presence makes her feel held, porn training makes her feel used. And the choice is yours. So how to enter the valley? So here's my best sex advice. Stop coming. Make an agreement with your partner to try a new experiment. For a few weeks, decide to stop coming altogether. Peak orgasm? Prohibited. Off the table. When you have intimacy, find all the ways you can connect and arouse each other without coming. This pattern interrupt will force you to break any mechanical habits, be creative, and find new ways to play. And just to be clear, I'm not suggesting less sex, I'm very sex positive. I'm saying have more, just with a different approach. In the old paradigm, she feels frustrated because you came before she did. In the new paradigm, you both feel so full and satisfied from the connection that coming becomes irrelevant. Just the cherry on top. And the secret is to let go of the goal of coming and focus on connection. And for the man, it's all about edging. The practice of staying under the point of no return, the 10 out of 10 arousal, and becoming the facilitator of the woman's awakening. And as a male, I can tell you that edging is the most delicious and connecting thing I found, especially in turning 50 and not wanting to release more than twice a week or less. So let it slowly build up, and when you feel at 8 out of 10, don't jump off the cliff. Instead, slow down, relax, breathe more deeply, stay in control, lead. And she might push you, give it to me, babe, but don't fall for it. Hold her frustration, trust the process. Tell her, look me in the eyes. Slow down to a 4 or 5 out of 10. Let the energy dissipate through your whole body and drop into timelessness. Then build arousal again, up to 7 or 8 out of 10. Edging, make it fun, make it a dance. Then relax again and again. Make it a challenge to see how long you can expand it and last. And for me, I've noticed that my 8 grows at each cycle, allowing me to sustain more intense friction over time without getting over the edge. This expands intimacy for 40 minutes and even hours. It's a big topic and it would take a minimum of 20 pages to even start describing the approach and method. And you'll find these 20 pages in my book, Back to Love and Respect, 5 Intimacy Skills to Solve Relationship Crisis Without Therapy. The link is in the description. For now, I just want to answer the question, why do women initiate divorce? Because they want to feel fulfilled and satisfied, and that sex is meaningful, not mechanical. And how to prevent it? Develop your tantric lovemaking skills. So now that you understand what the 5 skills are, the big question is, how do you acquire them? Well, the answer is repetition. Right now, when the trigger happens, you're reacting unconsciously from your amygdala. Defensiveness, anger, frustration, resignation, loss of control, that's totally normal. You need to retrain your subconscious brain to respond in a way that aligns with your core values. You're either trained or untrained. And that's why I've created a neuroscience-based training program with an AI app. That's how you fix this on your own without rehashing the problem with your wife or in couple sessions. 10 minutes a day, 4 times a week, you're presented with crisis scenarios and you're trained on how to de-escalate each situation. Not from theory, you retrain your brain from repetition through hands-on practice. When you train like an FBI negotiator, de-escalating crisis at home will seem like child play, not from thinking, from muscle memory. So if you want to master these skills and get your relationship to the next level, go to backtoloveandrespect.com and take the free evaluation. In just 3 minutes, it will reveal the specific gaps, explaining why she stays critical or distant, and the plan, how to regain control of the situation. And you get access to my book, all for free. And if the AI training system is of any interest to you, reach out to me and I'll show you how it works.